So, I was thinking today I'd maybe head down south to check out Sosiel's quest as well as the Heart of Mystery quest I've had for quite a while. Yeah, I just made it back to Dresden here and had a rest. Let's check on how the Crusade's going. Army of Thieves. A large group of suspicious individuals has arrived at the gates of Dresden. They wish to join the Crusade. Officers have recognized a number of thieves and murderers among their ranks. It seems the newcomer is only interested in spoils of war. Should they be accepted? Accept them, send them away, or arrest them. Could we turn them into undead if we had the Path of the Lich? That would have been cool. Well, if they're murderers and thieves, we should probably arrest them, shouldn't we? They belong there to the condemned. The soldiers have taken the new arrivals into custody. Now those who have lived as criminals will likewise serve as criminals. That makes sense. Ah, Brungar again. Leaning on his sword, this time he does not hide the fact he is waiting for you. Knight Commander! Why here this time? Fire in his eyes, which he pains to conceal. I heard your crusade is more successful than the previous ones. I heard you wrote at Ivory Sanctum that the Beetle King is now worm fodder. That is, if worms would deign to eat something as disgusting as Xanther Vang. What you have done, it's impressive. You came here for a reason. Are you going to give up your hermit ways? Maybe I do. If you think an old paladin who's almost forgotten how to talk to people can be of any use. Welcome to the 5th Crusade. I'll be glad to see you in Dresden. You can collect your gift basket there. What's my command, Knight Commander?
Let us be off.
Let's make this quick.
Anabusu, Devastator.
Simply business.
Forwards! We won't falter!
Begone, fiend!
I'll cut you wide open.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel!
The spirits demand your blood.
It's your time to cease to exist. You're in my way.
You won't survive me.
Didn't drop any loot, so I give them a fail for that, unfortunately. Just down. I don't know. Any foul barrows. Check those out later, I guess. What you got there?
A success worthy of praise.
Rose from his dung, an incredibly huge purple worm. You can tell the color of the worm just from the size of it, eh? They're all dead. Wait, what's that? Do you hear that sound?
Let's make this quick.
Forwards!
Simply business.
I'll remove this obstacle.
I know about this fellow. Immunities. Trip. Poison, okay, so I'll throw an acid arrow at him then.
Patrizio Turino.
The gluttonous maw is no more. The monster is dead, wiping the sweat from his face. Sosiel looks over the battlefield. It's the extirpators. The enemy must have been more than they could manage. The cleric folds his hands in a short funeral prayer. Is your brother among them? No, he's not. I don't see him among these people. He's with bodies. They died not long ago, judging by the wounds. They were killed by the same beast we just dispatched. The imposter sent us into a trap? Yeah, that looks like it. Let's return to Dresden. Oh, Shaylin, help me endure this entire story, you know. I don't recognize myself. She's the goddess of love, but the Hell Knights, I hate them. I really do. It's sickening. But I don't know how to get rid of this feeling. What does your faith say about it? It's a temptation. I must overcome it. Their cruelty stirs indignation in me. I'd like to believe it's righteous, but they also call their spite righteous anger. I shouldn't be like them. I shouldn't answer evil with evil, but goddess, it's so hard. You haven't been yourself. The things he said about my brother, I admit I wanted to grab him by the throat and squeeze so hard his spine cracks. It is dirty, unworthy desire, but I can't get rid of it. And worse, I think the reason I'm so angry is because I'm afraid he's telling the truth. Why do you hate the Hell Knights so much, as if we have to ask? The fact that we even tolerate them has disgraced the entire Crusade movement. Cruel tormentors who are indifferent to the suffering of others, or who perhaps even enjoy it. What are they doing on our side? Why do we let them justify all these atrocities by participating in crusades? Let's go, we have to talk to the imposter again. Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor.
Take a look. I'm the best.
Save the last one for me.
Oh, nice.
I'll cut you wide open.
That wasn't very nice. Name like that, how could I not? Iridescent streaks appear in the bilious violet sky above the deserted lands. The streaks are not like an ordinary Galorian rainbow. They look more like an oil dropped in water. The sweltering haze in the sky seems like waver along the streaks. Time and again, one of the commander's party spots some movement out of the corner of their eye and reaches for their weapon, only to immediately realize they were mistaken. The ground underfoot turns muddy gray, covered in a dense layer of ash, expelled by geysers, curious natural phenomenon not uncommon in these parts. In the distance, barrows can be seen, appearing only as vague piles of rocks and haze. The wind whips clouds of ash into the faces of the commander and his party. Along with the ash, wind ushers in ragged gray clouds that shroud the sky. A giant eye of cloud unblinkingly watches commander and his party from above. One can only imagine how insignificant the creatures struggling across the land must seem from such a height. In a break in the clouds, the white of the sky's eye pulses, ready to burst like a boil. The dark cloud of the pupil grows blacker still. The commander decides to study the ship's clouds more closely. Lan observes that in this wind, the ordinary storm clouds cannot coalesce into clear shapes. The earth throbs with peril. This is no mere storm. What's brewing is something caught by the abyss and possibly only in the wound. I can't let any mention of such phenomena. Then he observes that in this wind, the ordinary storm clouds cannot coalesce into clear shapes. Air throbs with peril. This is no mere storm. Its brewing is something brought in by the abyss, possibly only the wound. Nenio recalls conversations with the seasoned crusaders. If a giant eye appears in the sky, you must run and not look back. According to witnesses, what follows such an omen is so horrific that it can rob newcomer of the world wound of their sanity. Make for the barrows. Cover the middle of the wastes. Living creatures can be beaten, but one cannot conquer a force of nature. The commander decides to run for cover. Party manages to reach the barrows before the storm spills to its full force. Something suddenly drops from the sky, landing with a splat at the commander's feet like an overripe fruit. It is white, about the size of a chestnut, with a dark center, And the longer the commander stares at it, the more it seems something like staring back. The fruit looks disturbingly like an eyeball. Whirlwind of ash stops the party from looking up to see what is happening in the sky. Perhaps the carrion bird is transporting its already rotting prize home. At least that's what the companions are hoping as they cluster around the milky white eyeball. The second eyeball lands nearby with an unpleasant squelch, leaving only a bloody splash on the ash-covered ground. Two eyeballs cannot be a coincidence. The looming rocky ledges, which give the barrow the appearance of a hill, look like they come crashing down on the party's heads. At any moment, however, they do offer protection from the storm. The horrific hail misses the party almost entirely, and eyeballs land in a wet cacophony. The land around the barrows looks more like a dumping ground than a burial ground. Storms have bleached skulls and bones, rusted armor, and dented swords. This is a familiar sight. More surprising are the arms and legs of golems scattered around the waist, the once snarling faces of animals that now lack all resemblance to their living brethren. Things that look like a horse carcasses but with broken mechanical legs. Everything is brown, with rust, and long forgotten. Battle was once fought here. Through the veil of ash, the party struggles to find the entrance to the barrow. Land taps on the rock to test its solidity, trying to find a weak point, a crevice or a door. Victory smiles on him. The next strike is answered with a ringing of iron. The ash-darkened piece of metal that covers the entrance crumbles under Land's attack. The mouth of the barrow is cool and smells of damp and dust. More of the ash lies underfoot, pressed into glossy, slippery crust. It is clear that the barrow has been constructed above a cave system. The deliberately carved oak corridors stretching off into the barrow's depths give room for natural passageways. The wind, wailing through the stalactites in the dark, carries a strange sound similar to a desperate human cry. Help me! Help me! Hardy strains to hear and decides to. Under the voice belongs to. Come on, Ennio. The longer Ennio listens, the more the voice changes. One moment it sounds like desperate cry of a child. Next, the piercing, ragged scream of a woman. Next, bird song. Now be rolled out that she is hearing only what she wants to hear. I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see what this is, but it's obviously a trap. Oh, we can save some anyway. Durden can unknown cries for help, and the party rushes toward the sound, frequently looking around for enemies or traps. A strange thing, the closer they get to the voice, the less distinct the pleas become, blurring the grinding screech of a rusty mechanism. The only passage leading further into the barrow finishes in a dead end. Spacious cave, its walls decorated in frescoes that almost entirely faded over time. Before the companions have a chance to decide whether to look for a door or turn back, the cave floor, which seems solid with well-trodden ash, vibrates, begins to ripple like water. One after another, companions are sucked into the thick ashy mass like they've stepped into quicksand. Party floats in the quick ash like water, and manages to slow their singing with precise, measured movements. They maintain their composure, giving them time to think of what to do next. Assess the situation. Party understands that panicking is pointless. Assessing the situation. formulating a plan of action is much more useful. When they stop struggling, they notice the quick ash seems to loosen its grip and turn. Below, they can hear strange noises like grinding metal. Could be a mechanism drawing a quick ash downwards. The exit from the cave is still too high up, and the party now have one route out, down. Roll the projection. Party notices ledges on the nearest fall, tries to grab onto them and pull themselves out. The grip fails. One after another, the commander's commands fall heavily on their back, fighting out with a deafening splash. The guard's grip seems to suddenly vanish. The commander realizes he is in free fall, but it's too late to do anything. He has no time to brace himself, and is only a spear sticking out of the dark that ironically saves him from certain death. Rips through his clothes, drawing blood and leaving him suspended in midair. Suddenly, everything jolts into action. Dozens of daggers, saws, swords, and spears spring out of all sides, whistling through the air. But this is no enemy ambush. The weapons are being brandished by the pistons, loudly screaming gears of a giant mechanism. The spear that saved the commander was so rusted its piston no longer able to move. The party has found itself in the heart of a giant metal flower, going over to the ashy quagmire covering the floor. The branging, built by the forges of the abyss, seems to close its petals, crushing, mashing, cutting its victims to pieces. The years of lying dormant in the darkness have taken their toll. Its articulations move with soul-shuddering screech and become easily jammed. The mummified bodies of unlucky crusaders can still be seen hanging spears on rusted blades. The commander wants to avoid their fate, he must. There's giving the petals. Have all those points in mobility, don't I? There's still enough of a gap between the pedals to squeeze through. Swinging to build up momentum, the commander jumps and successfully grabs the piston nearest the opening. Freedom is within reach, but the piston breaks off, and some miracle, the commander manages to slow his fall by plunging the broken piece of metal between the moving parts of the pedal. Commander is almost out of time, another few minutes and it will all be over. Realizing that a simple escape isn't possible, the commander decides to try jamming the Orang's main mechanism in the heart of the flower. Looks around something sturdy and finds. Staff is like wood. I think a hammer. It's metal, isn't it? Hammer hands with dead pellet. The body of the paladin, clutching the warhammer in his hands of bone, hangs from one of the Orang's hammers, pointing directly upward. Commander is lucky that this warrior chose to meet his death with weapon in hand. Commander drags the body toward him and grabs the hammer, but the servant of light's grip is surprisingly strong and refuses to relinquish the weapon. The bone arms are easily ripped from the skeleton's shoulders, still holding the hammer. Commander tosses the lot into the heart of the Orang. The hammer falls, sparking off gears and getting stuck between them. The furious screeching and scraping, the Orang tries to grind up the hammer, but it cannot. The tremor travels up the pedals and there's a deafening crackling sound. The Orang stills forever. After carefully extracting themselves from the clutches of the broken Orang, commander and his party find themselves up. Yes, let's say a prayer for them so they don't come to life and attack us. Commander offers up a prayer, thanking crusaders who helped their fellow soldiers even in death, and asking for forgiveness for not treating their bodies with respect they deserve. Feels the warmth suffuse him, like the dead truly are with him, and wishing the party good luck on its onward journey. After all its ordeals, the party finally goes up to the surface and emerges in a small chamber. Pipes protrude from numerous openings dotted all over the walls, and they connect to a small box adorned with Baphomet's symbol. The box cries out, producing a high, plaintive noises that, when carried through the pipes, begin to sound something like "Help me." Commander knows this is just another demonic mechanism created to lure crusaders into the barrow. He smashes the box, scattering small bolts and gears across the room. Silence reigns. There's no secrets left in this place now. That'll be a story back home, won't it? You don't hear anything? Cursed children, oh boy, demons have been stealing children and Kennebrets and possessing their bodies so they can get close enough to Crusaders to deliver dagger strikes. The upstairs are asking how they should proceed when encountering the possessed. Stop down the kidnappers, that's what I do. Plan is one of the select number of fighters who will track down and slay the kidnappers. Should they succeed, the nation will applaud them, and Menivian clerics will offer solemn prayer for their protectors. The mage who examined the fragments of the revived flesh captured from the demons came to a conclusion that they were working pieces for a certain artifact. These fragments of flesh were meant to grow together and form a weapon created by dark, unnatural magic. The mage can try to complete the creation of this terrible item. Its commander decide what shape the item should take. Subs are a bit generic. With a flail. At the surface. Group of mongrels has arrived in Dresden. Hunters may have been brave in their underground caves, but they have lost their nerve on the surface. They are scared of sunlight, get disoriented by open spaces, and feel perturbed by unfamiliar opponents. Lion asked the commander to be understanding regarding his comrades' anxiety and not to throw them straight in the thick of things. I didn't taste the demonic madness in the shield maze, so how foolish of me. Inspire them with the light of heaven. Light of heaven, steal the hearts of underground hunters. They're now ready to face any challenge and defeat any foe. Yes, sirree. Seelah wants to talk in Dresden. Okay, I can do that. Sounds good. Sosiel? Well, did you talk to the extirpators? The extirpators are all dead. It's a shame. I think I'm welling up. It's a trap. You're hoping the monster would kill us too. Accusations again. You can say whatever you like, but where's the proof? You can't scare me. Listen, do you understand the situation you've got yourself into? It'd be wise not to antagonize us. You should help us and hope that after everything you've done, we still have little mercy for you. Huh. Mercy? I'd be a fool to believe that lie. I know how you kind and your brother are. My whole back is covered with scars because of his mercy. That's not true. It can't be true. Tell me what really happened. Or what? Want to leave the city? I can set you free and give you a horse. You serious? Hey, I don't want to leave a word to the commanders. Hey, what choice do I have? Alright, I get nothing else to do. Your bars are strong, locks are good, you got me. I'll hope for your... Sosiel, your mercy. Well, listen this time. I'll tell you how it was. I was a soldier fighting for the extirpators. That wasn't a lie, I was a valet for that scumbag Trevor. He used to work me hard. That was a long time ago, before the demons took him. Took him? How? Where? How could you even say such a thing? Keep listening, don't interrupt me. We were hunting a chimera back then. It's an easy job for the extirpators. Even without the demonic freakishness the wound gives a chimera. We were driving it toward your boy Trevor, and he was preparing to attack. And then a demon appears, a huge one, scary and black mask. Bam! Rips one knight to pieces. Bam! There goes another one. And then the demon looks at Trevor and says, "This one is good, I'll take him." And he picked him up like he weighed nothing and vanished. Well, what could we do? The demon was chopping up knights left, right, and center. What could we do? We turned and ran, and the rest of our guys caught up to us. They executed a few of us on the spot as a warning, and made the others slaves. Live bait for the monsters. Slaves don't live long. Only 3 of us survived out of the whole unit, and no one has seen Trevor since. There was a female knight among the extirpators named Arenta. How'd you get Trevor's shield? Arenta? She and Trevor were sleeping together. When they dragged Trevor off, he dropped his shield, so she picked it up, like, to remember him. I'm telling you, those two deserved each other. When the Trevor was gone, that crazy bitch wanted us all to be executed, the whole unit. The Paralictor refused to waste people. He said we would be useful as slaves. She made a scene, and then transferred to another order. Good riddance. But how many extirpators? You saw what happened to them, they died. I don't care. Am I gonna cry about them? They killed a lot of beasts. There's always someone stronger. The demon wiped them out. Only the ones who ran survived. Said 3 of you survived, or the other 2. I think they were gonna go to Kennebrus. They wanted to pretend to be refugees, and then wing it. You want to catch them too? They're probably somewhere near that creepy church where the undead used to be. I heard you plan to build a shelter there. To stay away from the local commander. Trevor now? You deaf? I told you, no one knows. A demon dragged him off. A demon in the black mask. As to where and why, I have to ask the demons. Good enough, Sosiel. Yes. I have. So it's true, my brother betrayed everything we believed in. Well, this is one person's side of the story, and the liars of that. Let's find 2 survivors and ask them. It's one of running away from the truth. The others will only confirm his words. Although, it probably wouldn't hurt. Excuse me, I need some fresh air. She's in good mood. She smiles and scratches her back of her head as if suddenly realizing something. Probably shouldn't have come to you officially, like to an audience, but this is the only way to catch you these days. I wanted to ask, would you like to go shopping with me? Probably not right to distract Knight Commander with such trifles, but I thought I should drag you out for a walk. I haven't had a moment's peace since we met. Either been saving Kennebrus or marching on Dresden. Besides, I desperately need advice. Going to buy a present. I know nothing about fancy jewelry. Who is present for? Berlin and his bride. The story at the camp, when Curl stole the ring from us and summoned the demons, Ella and I both overreacted and said some things we shouldn't have. Apologized to me, but I haven't really apologized to him. I want to buy a ring to replace the one that was stolen, There's a new jewelry shop in Dresden. It's owned by Sunhammer. Same jeweler who made the first ring. Yeah, sure, why not? Great! A jewelry shop. It's the east of the city. Yeah, I don't like anything better to do, is it? You might have deceived me. The victorious knight commander himself has paid a visit to my shop. Such an honor, such an honor. Dignified dwarf and luxurious, beautifully adorned garment bows to you. Return to Seelah. You are most welcome as well, I am Maydays faithful. It's a pleasure to see so many brave crusaders within these walls. I am Derek Sunhammer, the jeweler. The shop is one of many that I own. Ah, Mr. Derek himself. I had the only place, unlike Bumpedium's, a royal reception. Not at all, my wares are expensive, not least because I have to buy costly metals and gems and also pay for security of shops and workshops throughout Mendev, beyond its borders. My prices limit the circle of my clientele, but that doesn't mean I myself shun all those not to possession of a noble title. I must say again, I'm very glad to see you here. Seelah wants to talk to you about something. My full attention. Simple, master. You might remember that a while ago, Sir Ilan of the Houndhearts ordered a ring from you. A silvery ring with a blue-green gem. I'd like to buy something similar. I'll only have this much money. Yeah, I'll vote. Come on, Durden. Only invited for advice. I can handle the expenses myself. Oh, I would advise you not to reject Commander's help out of hand. With this participation, I can offer you something truly special that fits your description perfectly. A ring with a blue-green gem, just as you've described. It's one of my latest creations. I'm very proud of it. Alas, your own funds, my dear, are only enough for my plainest ring. The gem is not the right color. Yeah, sure, here's 1,000 points. He lowers his head respectfully and retrieves a box from the bag on his belt, opening it to reveal an exquisite ring with a glittering blue-green jewel. He lets out light play on the gem's facets, then places the box in Seelah's hand. It's a special item, and I'm glad to see it go to someone as worthy as yourself. For how could the commander's friend be anything but? May it bring good fortune to its owner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I don't usually make sales in my own shops. I have golems for that. Besides, I prefer spending my time with my workbench, not behind the counter. But I was glad to serve you, Commander. Your valiant companion, all the best. Well, that's done. Come with me to the barracks to give the ring to Ilan, will you? After that, we can go to the tavern and have a few drinks. My only dealings with jewelry were back when I used to steal it. Even remembering it makes me sick. Dresden is a nice little town, and since we got here, it's really been transformed. Looks better than ever. I don't care what anybody says. I like life in the Crusade. So many different people, everyone bought back. When I first go to pay the Sword of Valor, feeling total calm near me. It's like, look around you. Something. Fortress walls won't protect us against flying demons, of course. No breathing a little easier when I'm behind them. Seelah, Knight Commander, good to see you. All this again, well, to avoid a drawn-out conversation, I'll just get to the point. I get you a gift. It's, well, a ring, to replace the one Curl stole. Oh, Seelah, thank you so much, but you shouldn't have. I've already apologized to you for how I behaved at the camp. I'll say it again, I don't blame you for anything. We fought shoulder to shoulder here in Dresden. Can't we just bygones be bygones? Sure we can, but take the present. Your wedding is right around the corner. Swing the knight's hand. You still distrust me, Elan? Yes, Commander, I still have my doubts. I'm just a warrior, but I have faith in God's will, but I'm relying on things I can understand, things I know. An honest sword, a prayer down through the generations. I don't take it as a sign of disrespect. It'd be more disrespectful to lie to your face. When's the wedding? Very soon, that's what I want to talk to you about. I would be a tremendous honor if you would come to my wedding. We're going to hold it not far from the walls of prison, to the east, toward the river. Seelah's already been invited. Now I'm asking you, you showed so much kindness to me when it helped me look for an ill-fated ring. I simply must repay you somehow. Besides, Kiana would simply love to meet you. I can't deny her anything. That's great. So you go, Durden. We'll have so much fun. Aren't you worried about the wedding outside the city walls? Chose a place within range of the holy power of the Sword of Valor. My fellow Houndhearts will be there, and Kiana and her friends know how to handle themselves. Of course, the location is not entirely risk-free. Nowhere in the world wound is, but it's as protected as it can be. The territory is much calmer since your victory. I'll be there. Thank you, Commander, and you, Seelah, for the gift. So long, my friend. Thank you for coming for a walk with me. It's nice to take a breather between fights sometimes. I hope we have good time at the wedding. All these battles and divine powers, we need to make sure we don't touch with ordinary life. I'm sure it'll go well, nothing will happen. We won't be attacked or anything, will we? Well, would you look at the time? Alright guys, it looks like we didn't make it hard of mystery, but we did end up helping out Sosiel a bit, and doing that fun little text encounter in the barrows. Yeah, we'll see if we make it to that wedding next time, and get that demon base out of the way. Until then, I'll wish you well. Bye-bye for now.